Welcome to part 4 of the CSDE Needs Assessment Toolkit, Get to a Root Cause. This toolkit is designed to guide districts and schools through the process of deeply examining evidence to determine the priority concerns, understand the contributing factors, and uncover root causes to inform strategic improvement plans. The use of this toolkit can help your team align the work to the needs of your community and support equitable outcomes for students.
In this video, we will look more closely at Step 4, Get to a Root Cause. Previously, your team has gathered and analyzed evidence to determine the greatest needs for your school or organization. In the previous step, your team brainstormed contributing factors that lead to the challenges and priority concerns. Now, you're ready to get to a root cause. As we move through this video today, we will begin with what a root cause is and why this is essential to improvement planning. Then we will examine protocols that support finding a root cause. Finally, we will look at how to verify the root cause, an important step because assuring we address a root cause will impact the success of our improvement strategies.
Let's start with a definition of root cause. A root cause is the deepest underlying cause or causes of positive or negative outcomes within any process that, if dissolved, would eliminate or substantially reduce the outcomes. Let's highlight some keywords in this definition. The word deepest underlying indicates that we have to dig below the surface level explanations. For example, if lower percentage of students are performing at goal in math in grade 4, on the surface, the assumptions may be made such as the programming doesn't adequately address the standards. Further examination might lead the team to examine the unit pacing, instructional practices, as well as the prerequisite skills. Digging deeper, the team may discover that teachers have different understandings of the standards and the rigor of instruction needed to meet the standard. This may stem from limited professional learning and inadequate collaborative planning time. Inadequate planning time may be a product of the schedule. Digging deeper than the surface will help the team uncover root causes. Cause or causes indicates you may find more than one root cause. If there are several root causes, you will want to focus on the causes with the highest leverage and potential for impact under the control of the adults. The team will need to prioritize, measure impact, and adjust to ensure positive impact for the learning community and student outcomes. Root causes are not focused only on negative impact, but positive impact as well. Examining both positive and negative impact may help the team identify strengths that can be capitalized upon to make lasting changes. If dissolved, it would eliminate or substantially reduce the outcomes. Getting rid of this root cause will impact outcomes. If you eliminate a negative impact, the negative outcome will be reduced or eliminated. In other words, what is the cause that without it, there would be a change in the outcome?
When we start with evidence and understanding contributing factors, we know what is happening. The root cause analysis reveals the why it is happening. Understanding why lets the team address the why with targeted interventions that address the challenge and lead to positive change for students.
As we stated in the Brainstorming Possible Factors video, protocols bring structure to the process of determining root causes. The Fishbone protocol is a commonly used protocol for determining root cause. It is a tool for recording the problem statement, factors that contribute to the problem, and the causes of these factors.
The team starts with a problem statement. What is a challenge that emerged from the evidence and data that's impacting student outcomes? For example, a problem statement might be 25% of grade 4 students are at goal on the math SBAC. Then the team records the contributing factors at the top and the bottom of the diagram. There may be more than 6 contributing factors, or there might be less. But try to consider as many possible factors as that during your analysis. To create more organization, the team may want to record the student-related factors at the top and the adult-related factors at the bottom of the diagram. To continue with our example, some of the factors include curriculum alignment to standards is weak, and there has been limited professional learning on math instruction with these standards. Now that you're ready to determine a cause for each factor and record those causes next to the factor. For example, the team may determine causes that contribute to the factor of misalignment to the standards and These causes might be that the curriculum review for math was done 4 years ago. Another cause is that the program the district is using was modified to include and address the standards rather than written to the standards. The standards are based on developing concepts, but students have limited manipulatives to use to help them develop understanding in a concrete way. You want to continue looking for additional causes. See the toolkit for a protocol the team might want to use with the fishbone diagram to bring multiple perspectives to the work and to guide the team in identifying root causes.
Here is an example of a completed fishbone diagram. The power to find root causes doesn't lie in the diagram, but within the discussions of the team around completing the diagram. The team should continue to focus on these 3 questions. Is there research evidence suggesting the cause will result in the stated effect? Is there anything else needed along with the cause for the stated effect to occur? Or if we eliminate this cause, will the problem be resolved or substantially improved? If the answer is yes, then you have found a root cause.
The toolkit includes Fishbone 2 diagram, a more simple diagram focused on the causes without looking at the factors. This diagram also begins with a problem statement that has been determined through gathering and analyzing data. The team then records the causes. After recording possible causes, the team then codes the causes to sort them and be able to determine the causes that will be actionable and have impact on improvement.
Here's an example of a Fishbone 2 diagram completed with causes by the team. Now the team is ready to code. The team originally coded like this. For example, the team saw the lack of number sense routines in the curriculum as out of their control because they said, we have to teach the program that was given to us by the district. In fact, the team considered many of the causes out of their control and felt that the district and others controlled these causes. Again, the power of the diagram is in the discussions of the team as they work to find a root cause. While some causes may seem like they are out of the control of the team, consider challenging the team that there are a few things that are completely out of the control of the school. First, the team needs to shift thinking from what is in control of the grade 4 team to what is in control of the school. In John Hattie's work, Collective Teacher Efficacy, the level of confidence teachers have to guide students to success has been shown to have the greatest positive impact on student outcomes. Sharing power within the learning community can take causes that seem beyond the school's control and shift it back to the learning community. Back to our example, the district program may not include number sense routines. How can the learning community shift instruction to include number sense routines that strengthen student understanding while fostering the development of concepts and building fluency based on a strong sense of numbers? Now the team has come to realize that something like district's programming seeming out of their control is actually within the control of the school community.
As the team continues to wrestle with the causes, they determined that with the cooperation and engagement of stakeholders, most of the causes were adult-based and within the control of the school. For example, while it is true having new teachers that don't have tenure can impact the quality of math instruction, the adults, the teachers and the staff, have control to specifically address the needs of these teachers by supporting their instruction through coaching, professional learning, and providing mentors that are expert math teachers. When the school engages stakeholders and harnesses the power of the community, the learning community has control to create conditions for change.
Again, this diagram alone will not lead to finding a root cause, but does determine causes. The diagram will help the team.
And it's coupled with these 3 questions. Is there research evidence suggesting the cause will result in the stated effect? Is anything else needed along with this cause for the stated effect to occur? And if we eliminate this cause, will the problem be resolved or substantially improved?
The final tool in the toolkit for getting to a root cause is the 5 whys. The team starts with the question of, why do we have this challenge? The team has a first response. Then the question, why is this the case, is asked. There is no longer an additional cause, a root cause has been identified. The team then comes to a consensus on the underlying cause statement. Back to our previous fishbone example. One of the causes for the problem of only 25% of students are meeting the goal in math on the Smarter Balance assessment is that students' number sense and prerequisite skills are not ready for grade level instruction. We found this was a cause that was adult centered, and the team felt addressing this cause was within the power of the team. So, why is student number sense weak and prerequisite skills missing? The team determined that grade 4 students are not accurate with their multiplication facts. Why? The math program focuses on students memorizing facts. Many students just don't learn them. But why? We know that developing understanding helps all students gain access to math, so why have teachers spent limited time developing students' conceptual understanding of multiplication? Why? Teachers admit they are less comfortable teaching math and more likely to follow the program strictly, leaving little time for number sense routines. But why? Teachers are not including number sense routines and developing student fluency because they do not have the materials or professional learning to effectively implement within the math instructional block. So, through the use of the 5 whys, we are ready to develop an underlying cause statement. Teachers have not received materials or professional learning to support the daily use of number sense routines that lead to the development of understanding of multiplication and build fluency through this understanding. Teams should pick and choose a protocol of combinations of protocols that will help the team to identify causes of the problem and continue to ask questions to determine root causes. The best protocol and questioning structures for your team may vary based on the challenge, the team, and your school.
The underlying root causes identified using the fishbone diagram or the 5 whys may or may not be a root cause that is driving the condition or factors leading to the existence and persistence of the problem statement. Continuing to ask questions beyond the identification of underlying causes will help the team identify a root cause. Using a decision tree flowchart like the verifying a root cause diagram included in the toolkit can assist the team in assuring the underlying cause statement is in fact a root cause. Additional questions are suggested in the toolkit for revisiting and verifying a root cause. These questions will help teams consider how the evidence supports an identified root cause, who might be able to address a root cause, and what might be the impact of addressing the root cause.
There are 5 elements that will ensure effective root cause analysis to develop actions that will have impact. Did your team seek a thorough explanation of the problem, factors, and causes? Did your team uncover a system of causes? There is always more than one cause. Did the analysis identify opportunities to reduce risk? Did the analysis avoid blame and focus on prevention? Did this analysis set up the team for the next step, identifying actions that will improve outcomes?
Focus by the school community to address a root cause sets the stage for improvement by aligning the efforts and resources to the real need. The question for schools is, how do you share power and harness influence within the school community to address the most pressing root causes? Start by focusing on root causes and actions that are under the power of the adults in the community. Leverage partnerships and voices beyond the staff to consider how to address root causes that might have previously been seen as beyond the control of the school community. For example, if chronic absenteeism is high in kindergarten, bring together community members and school families to address the barriers and challenges to consistent school attendance. Use social media and communication forms that will be meaningful and read by young families. Partner with local preschools to provide a smooth transition that makes families feel welcome into the school. Aligning the actions to address the root cause will have the greatest opportunity to improve the outcomes.
In this video, we examined the step 4, get to a root cause. Now that the data has been examined and analyzed, the contributing factors found and root causes determined, it is time to look forward to the action steps needed to address the priorities and create opportunities to interrupt the status quo and improve schools. See Step 5, Determine next steps to learn more about practices and interventions for addressing root causes.